No doubt that the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz has a huge emotional damage on all the characters and its impact on war. The major part is the price of peace that they have to face. I found that the largest price in gaining that peace is their emotional stability in their life and quality of life. What I think about the Endless Waltz is it's not necessarily as political as maybe the last discussion in film about the war ending, but I think it's more dedicated towards a character and their development and its emotional development and the impact of war rather than two sides versus each other. And it made me realize that the biggest piece is mostly about destruction, and that when that destruction happens, it's hard to get that stability back, and that emotional damage carries on with the characters throughout the entire story, but also beyond just post-war, like for the rest of their life. And the longing for love with that war is disrupted, and it's never able to be found again, which makes it really sad for a lot of characters. So being able to make films that bring awareness to that help a lot about the price of peace. The emotional trauma that's carried by the pilots is a human need for a connection that war interrupts because it stops people from being with each other, and it also is an environment of violence that causes harm. The Gundam pilots are also children, which carry a large impact because they're forced to have weapons. It's sad to see such dangerous things like weapons be forced upon the children and their innocence. You can see how that is not normal for adolescents, and it carries more of a society issue as well that it's so sad to see. But even in peacetime, they move the people who expect the world to collapse again and just for war to come back. They technically were able to achieve peace at one point when it started, but none of them look emotionally at peace because it's a lot more about the inner stability and inner heart and love that they have going on. And if even your outside things are peaceful, everything around you still spins, and that could be at peace. But if you're not internally, that causes issues with the character and the character development because of the said war. And that need of love and affection helps people find that peace. But with the war, it becomes hard to achieve that, and it deprives them of that affection. The peace in the Endless Waltz is fragile, but not because of the weapons and the actual violence that existed. It's the way that the people were left wounded from the emotional damage and scarring. It's not something that it's easy to recover from, and so that carries the largest burden on the people. And humanity can be evil, and I feel like the film did a good job capturing that because people are hurting and it's hard for it to become normalized, but in a time like that it was, which is so sad. And Japan's post-war identity does emphasize pacifism, but the idea that it leaves invisible scars is not true because it is technically invisible in your mind according to other people, but those scars are so deep that it's hard for people to carry on with anything in their life. I feel like it understands that war doesn't just destroy cities, but it changes the structure of society, and that's because all the people make up the society. So, the film does suggest the real cost of peace isn't death, it's the emotional building and damage along the way. But maybe lasting peace depends less on weapons being destroyed and more on whether people are able to be loved enough and feel fulfilled internally so that they're able to reach their emotional stability and love again.